We've been asking Konami for a fusion card for so long, and they've delivered the wrong thing. They've delivered a new fusion monster, which we weren't really asking for that. And on top of that, they delivered a level 8 dragon fusion monster, a fusion of Dark Magician and a level 7 or higher dragon or warrior, but let's focus on the dragon part. So we just have another card that meets the requirements of Dragoon and Dragon Knight, and yet it isn't either of them. It's so strange. Let's read the effects together real quick, and then I'll get into a little scenario where I've actually found that Dark Magician, the Magical Dragon Champion, is better than Dragoon and Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. It's only one certain scenario, or like maybe two scenarios. It's a good going second card, and that's what we'll get into. But let's just talk about the effects first. So, first effect, if your monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Always good, because it actually applies to everything on your field, just as if you're a monster. So, it's kind of cool. I don't mind that. We probably won't get to more than just this on the field, though, going second. So, probably not relevant. Effect number 2. Once per turn when your monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. So kind of like a Dragoon effect, but for battle. So strictly worse in my opinion, but sure. It's on there, I won't complain. Card's got 3 effects, and the third one is probably my favorite, which some people don't really like. Let's get into it. If this card is destroyed, special summon Dark Magician and Gaia the Dragon Champ from hand deck, extra deck, and or graveyard. I love this effect. Why? Well, it summons 2 vanillas that are level 7. Do the math from there with 2 level 7s. But the other thing is this kind of future-proofs the decks. Whereas if we ever get a Dark Magician that, like, an extra deck monster that identifies as Dark Magician or Gaia the Dragon Champ, it means we can just turbo them out of the extra really, really quick. I don't think they'll do that because that might be a bit too broken, but you know what? It could happen at some point. If it said special summon ignoring summoning conditions too, that means we could have played the Ritual DM card. I forget its name. Magician of Chaos or something. Something like that. We could have played him in the extra. Or in the main, I should say. And I think if you are going to make a card as strong, or like after Dragoon, you know, without protection, you need to give it a freaking floating effect, right? If you're not going to be protected by something like Dragoon, Dragon Knight's protected by Eternal Soul, Dragoon by itself, like you need to have a card with some floating shit. So I do like that. It's really cool. And yeah, look, summoning out a level 7 vanilla is very funny. But let's get into why I'm digging this. So we're going to go through this standard combo to summon a fusion in DM, which is currently normal summon Rod. You'd think you would grab secrets, but no, this is the way we play it now. We grab Soul Servant, actually. And we're going to go ahead and send this Magician Souls to the graveyard. Oops, that's not the graveyard. It's going to send DM to the grave first and, you know, and then summon it out, but I'm just going to skip that step. Cool. Now we've got DM and we've got Rod, so we can go ahead and Soul Servant. This is, of course, going to stack our Fusey Boy, the Big Tamias. This card still low-key sucks. I'm just going to banish this and draw it, so I'm not going to put it on top of the deck. Of course, I can now get rid of this Rod. Summon out Tamias. Activate Tamias effect. Actually, I have 3 targets here that I can summon. Dragon Knight, which isn't great because I don't have Circle Eternal. Dragoon, which isn't great because I don't have a card in hand, which reminds me I need to go get something. And 3 is our new option, the Magical Dragon Champion. This card, surprisingly, going second is kind of better than Dragoon, unless Dragoon Summon off Ref. Dragoon Summon off Ref has 2 pops and then swings for 3k, potentially 4k if you negate. Like, that's just so much damage. But this card, the Magical Dragon Champion, can actually reach a pretty high amount as well. So I'm going to go ahead and summon the Dragon Champion here. Because, I mean, it wouldn't be a Dragon Champion video if I didn't. I do need to grab 1 hand trap that is kind of crucial to this. This could be a number of other things that destroy monsters, but it has to be something you can use in the battle phase. So, I don't know. I thought of popping my own Eternal Soul as well, but that's an option. Anyway, we need to give the opponent a card. I'm going to give them Dark Magician. Because we need something to swing into, don't we? Alright, cool. We're going to hit the battle phase up. We're going to attack in the Dark Magician. Of course, that's going to inflict 400 damage. But then we're going to be destroying it by battle. I can't actually grab this card back because Dueling Book sucks, so we're just going to have to leave it there. But you know the drill. We've destroyed the monster, and now we can activate this effect to inflict damage to the opponent equal to the destroyed monster's attack, which is 25. But we're going to chain our Ghost Ogre to this as well. going to put that in the graveyard, which will make our boy go to the graveyard as well. Now his effect will resolve, and that will burn the opponent for 25, because that's how much attack DM has. Now we're going to trigger the Dark Magician, the Magical Dragon Champions effect, which lets us summon out the Dragon Champion from the extra deck. Your boy Gaia, you'll love to see it. And then a vanilla DM from your main deck. Now, of course, this DM shouldn't be here, so we're going to swing now for 25 and 26. That's right, all up, that is 5-1. That's exact game. It's super cool, very satisfying number. But here's the best thing after that. You can just flop right into the Flare Metal and pass. So your opponent gets to activate 1 or 2 cards, and they burn to death. If you were out of range of lethal, which is definitely possible if you hit into, like, say, Magician's Rod or, like, a 0/0 monster. But yeah, I just think it's really nice that we can kind of have a reason to make a rank 7 at the end there. And it was all off a fusion summon, so I kind of dig that, because unless this gets shuffled back, you're really going to have 2 bodies. 2 bodies could make Link plays, you can make XZ plays as we have here, so I like the possibilities. Obviously, the problem is Dragoon's just going to be better, I feel, like 90% of the time. Probably 99% of the time, it's just going to be better to summon Dragoon, because, like, everything else here kind of sucks, because Dragoon can just use his good old effect, which I can't find. There we go. Pop a guy, and then just swing. That's not exactly game, though, so I can see how Dragon Champion can actually be better, but of course, that was with me popping it with one of my own cards, so if it could pop itself, that'd be really good. Or if we just had a more consistent way to pop it, that would be really sweet. Also, one thing I'd like to point out is it is a dragon. I don't like that it's a dragon, because it means it has no synergy with Village, while Dragoon has synergy with Village. So that's just super annoying and a little pet peeve from me. One thing it does help us with is this random matchup, and that is the Crooked Cook matchup. So whenever we verse this annoying card, they just put it in defense and we can't play any cards or anything. We can't really do anything to kill it, and they just draw into Exodia and we lose. This deck's a meme deck, but we do have an out to it now, which is this fusion monster. It's not the biggest deal, I just thought I'd mention it as a little bit of trivia / lore. The look on your opponent's face when they pop your Magical Dragon Champion Dark Magician, and you just float into 2 vanillas, one of them being Gaia the Dragon Champion, like, this is gonna be like, what? It's such a dumb gimmick, but I kinda love it. This card definitely should have been better. I'm gonna say it should have multiple attacks. Maybe that's a bit too broken, but I think this thing should be able to attack twice. Even then, it's not as good as Dragoon, so look, I still think Dragoon's better. But this card is pretty cool, and the potential for future Dark Magician extra deck shenanigans does excite me. Yeah, I don't think Konami will go down that route, I'm going to be honest. But if they do, oh my goodness, the crazy shit we could do with this. Here's a couple of monsters I'm keen to see fused with Dark Magician. Celtic Guardian's always been one of my favorites, just because he's always looked so much like Link from Zelda. I remember Kid Me just loved this card, even though its stats sucked. Beaver Warrior is one I want to see for a meme. Man, I love Beaver Warrior. What a fucking stupid card. In terms of, like, actual cool cards, I low-key want to see Winged Dragon Guardian of the Fortress. I don't think it'll ever happen, but it'll be funny. Summon Skull and Blue Eyes genuinely could be, like, amazingly good cards. If the Blue Eyes fusion isn't good, I will eat a sock on stream or something. Like, there's no way it's bad after Dragoon's been so good. And Summon Skull as a fusion would be really damn good as well. So super keen to see those. I'm guessing the next one we get will be Summon Skull. And then probably Blue Eyes at some point. But these are definitely 2 that I'm looking out for. And man, I cannot wait to see their fusion. Anyway, let me know in the comments which ones you're keen to see, and if you're going to be playing this atrocious looking dude. Anyway, catch you guys very soon. Bye.